Welcome back to The Ordinary, the place where we unpack big questions from ordinary people like us. I'm Jalp.
And I'm Buddy. Today we're taking all that life advice you hear, whether it's from uncles, TED Talks, or even Instagram or other social media, and ranking it.
That's right. Some of it is good, some of it's garbage. And we're going to break down which advice really hits and which should have stayed in your WhatsApp family group chat.
We've each brought in a bunch of quotes, and we'll be throwing them into 4 tiers: goated, solid, meh, and nope.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so how we're going to kind of structure this episode is we've kind of compiled and low-key Googled, but also compiled, right? Random advice we've heard. And it's in no particular order. We've mixed it up, and I guess we're just going to literally go down the list and kind of debate whether or not, which tier the quote belongs in. And maybe even share if, someone's given us this advice and, has it really been helpful or not.
Yeah, and maybe our personal stories with those advice or personal experiences, I guess.
Yeah.
And the categories we're going to put them in are GOAT, which is obviously timeless, game-changing advice that you probably gotten.
Yeah.
Then solid, which is good advice, but obviously not as legendary as the GOAT quality. And meh, it's kind of mid, it's overused or kind of not really specific. Lastly, nope, straight up misleading, outdated, or trash.
Yeah.
Okay? So why don't we start with the first one, which is follow your passion. What does that mean? Follow your passion to you. When somebody tells you that,
usually I feel like that's I feel like you'd hear this sort of advice when you're thinking about work, right?
Yeah.
Or future career or something like that.
Even education.
Or education,
what you
true.
study and stuff.
Yeah. I think follow your passion, it's good advice, kind of. You should like what you're doing.
Yeah, but that's assuming that the person you're giving the advice is
that's
career oriented
like that,
right? I've met so many people that are in their careers just for the sake of earning a good paycheck and stuff, and their passion is traveling, or their passion is just having
their career isn't their passion. Their career is a means to their passion.
Yeah, it fuels their passion.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm this advice,
I would say it's meh.
It's
not trash, or it's not in the nope category, because it does have a bit of proper backing to it. But I don't think it's super applicable to everyone, because you said, everyone has different goals when it comes to their careers and stuff, or whatever this advice is being given for.
Yeah, and not everyone can relate to it, because I feel rarely do people are so passionate about their career.
For example, me personally, I say this all the time. When people would ask me what did you want to do before I figured it out, I would be I genuinely have no passion. Because to me, the things I like are not things that I feel were realistic for me to pursue a career in, For example, I'm passionate about film and movies and stuff. But to me, I don't really want to be working in that field,
Yeah.
So for me, following my passion wouldn't really lead to a solid career for me. Some people out there, they can see that path for them, but not for myself.
Yeah. But that being said, I think it is important that whatever you're working in, if it's not you're super passionate about it, but as long as you're not hating it,
there should be an aspect that you like about it.
You should still be able to wake up in the morning and feel okay going to work or doing that work, right? If that's not the case, then so I think May is a good point. It's getting to a point where it's good, but
it's really. Valid. Okay. Next one is, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
I would say that one is probably, what's the category above May?
I've honestly never heard this advice.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard it.
Well, I've heard it in different ways, where it's the choices you make, can either make you happy now in the present, or or something like that in the future.
Basically, this is saying when you are so undisciplined, you're choosing just things so much in the present that you're not really thinking about the future in the long term. So it's kind of telling you to balance it out, right? Like discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. What you want now could be something simple as like, oh, I want to eat this really good pancake, but what you want most is probably like a healthy lifestyle and like a body in the future. So it's like understanding your now versus your bigger priorities. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
I think this is solid advice.
I agree because it's telling you to be goal oriented, which is nice.
It's telling you to like understand that okay, you might want this right now, but what you really want in life, what is that? Like, what is your priorities? So it kind of helps you align that.
No, that is solid advice.
I'm not putting it goaded because I feel like when people hear it for the first time, they have to take a moment to like digest it.
Yeah. I think we'll eventually get hit quotes that are goated, but like those are quotes where like, it's solid advice, but on top of that, you're like, wow, like it hits you.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, this has changed my life.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. Solid for sure.
All right. Third one.
Why?
If they wanted to, they would.
I hate this one.
Why?
Because when I've heard this,
Mm.
it's not been fun. Yeah. I just hate this one. You know why I hate it though? Because it's very true.
I think there is true, but I think it.
I mean, yeah, I guess not.
I like sometimes I wanted to, but like I know if my wants and my needs are different, or I know like okay, if I was selfish, I could do this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then realistically there are other consequences.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, I feel like whenever my friends tell me like, oh, if they wanted to, they would. It's kind of like a wake up call almost. I'm like, okay, let me like.
Yeah, there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
100%. Like, hey, if that person really wanted to show up for you,
They would.
they would have been here.
Yeah.
Right? If that person really cared about you or something like that, they would have shown that. So it's a good advice, I would say. But sometimes it's like when you're like the other aspect of it, like when somebody's saying like if he wanted to and he could,
Yeah.
like maybe he is thinking about other things. Like maybe he has other information that you might not have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like it's good advice, but I guess it's a little like blind to the fact that like everyone has their own life, kind of.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
sometimes like it's not that serious, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. This does make it seem kind of serious.
Yeah, so I think this one is probably meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think, yeah, it is. Because I feel like it is a little bit overused,
Okay.
right? I do hear this quite a bit, and I feel like it's pretty negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say meh as well.
Mhm.
Okay. The next one is, you become what you consistently do.
I think this is good advice.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right? Because like, well, I don't know. The first thing that came into my head is like fitness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I consistently do this, then it's gonna lead to results. But if I like, work out 1 week, then take another week off,
Yeah.
and then work out whatever, it's not gonna work out. Or same thing, like, I guess in your career and stuff, like if you consistently produce high quality work, it's gonna matter. Not like if you like once in a blue moon do it. I
Yeah.
think this is solid advice, but like I feel like some of it's kind of common sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like, with consistency, if you have good habits, you'll
Yeah.
get to your goals
So
quicker.
I don't think it's like life changing,
Yeah.
but it's solid advice, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like it's a hybrid between meh and solid, but I would agree. Like, it's more on the solid side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Label as solid.
solid.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Number 4. Grind now, shine later. What do you think?
That's horrible.
Horrible, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to like, I don't know, like Staples or Dollar, I'm gonna go buy a notebook and then they have like the ones with like the random quotes written on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is making me not want to grind now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's kind of cheesy.
It is cheesy. Yeah, that's what it is. It's cheesy.
Yeah. And also, I think we did a whole episode on this where we're like, it's not about just grind now.
Shine as you grind, actually.
Sure,
Or
shine.
grind as you shine.
Hey, yo. But, yeah, I think like this one, it's good if
No,
you're
it's
like
not.
super lazy, like, and like you do that, but I feel like it just makes you not want to grind at all. So I'm gonna put this as trash.
I just like, I'd laugh if someone said that to me.
Buddy, I think you need to grind now and shine later.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think it's trash.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a grown-up person.
No, not
said-
trash.
Yeah, it's trash.
No, the title's, it's no.
Nope,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, if a grown-up person came up to me and said that to me, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay.
This is something like an 8th grader would say.
Yeah, he's motivating his... dodgeball team.
Yeah. Okay, next one. I'm sure everyone's heard this one. I'm pretty sure there's a song too. There is a song, yeah. I won't sing it, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, Katy Perry, right?
No.
Katy Perry?
No, it's not. Wait, hold up.
What
Let me
doesn't
go.
kill you makes you stronger.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, see? Shut up.
Wait, no.
It is Katy Perry.
Brother, no.
Katy Perry has it in one of her songs.
It's Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, her real name is Kelly Clarkson.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They're two different white people.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm like what, like.
No, I think it's like do hard stuff because it makes you stronger. Even
yeah, all drinking water doesn't kill me. Doesn't make me stronger.
No, that's
like what doesn't kill you makes you.
That doesn't. That's not what it means, brother.
Yeah, but like I know what it's trying to get at, but like it's not really specific. It's vague. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, but I feel like you don't understand it. Do you get it?
I do understand it. Like, oh, go do this hard thing. It's not gonna kill you. You'll just become better after doing.
Low key, I thought Jalp would like this one because I feel like this is your philosophy.
Yeah, but like I don't like it the way it's worded.
Okay, you just don't like it because it's a song.
Yeah, I don't like Kelly Clarkson.
She's actually a really good player.
Like I understand where it's getting at.
Yeah, this is it. I would say it's.
But I think it's so overused in like. You know, you can be like, oh, the drugs. Oh, it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
You just build tolerance.
Yeah,
it makes you stronger.
So
I'm gonna say nope.
No, I think meh.
Meh.
Okay. So there's like it's okay.
Some truth, like you should be doing hard things, but yeah. Okay, this next one. The first time I heard this one, it was well, you can't see because I'm doing the action, but this is in audio format. But John Cena, this is who I heard say this first. But comparison is the thief of joy.
Bing chilling.
Bing chilling. I love this quote.
I think this one, it's
very good.
It's very applicable in everyday life.
Because literally, like, I can find myself, like, multiple times in a day, like, compare myself to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you remind yourself, like, you know, it's a thief of joy, and you realize I'm not getting anything good out of comparing myself to someone.
Yeah. And this is a theme that me and my friend group have constantly, like, talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Because we are at a stage in life where, like, life is so volatile. When you're in elementary school, everyone's in elementary school and everyone has access to the same things.
Yeah.
The only thing you might compare yourself with the other, but like, oh, this guy brought like McDonald's for lunch. You know, right? Like, you know, you used to compare like snacks and stuff like that. Oh. Like, oh, this guy brought Dunkaroos. Like, that was your comparison.
That would make me sad if I saw someone like that.
Like, that was like our comparison at that point in stage, right? When you get older, the thing you can compare yourself with people to is so much more. Like, where do they work?
For example,
what do they drive?
This morning,
and everything like that.
As when I was getting ready, I was watching a TikTok, and like this like influencer couple on my For You page. I thought they were like in their mid-20s, maybe 30s. They're 21.
Yeah.
And like they like live together. They go on like day trips and this and that. And I was like, what the heck? They're a year older than me.
Yeah, and like as you know, J. Cole once said, "Love yours," right?
Love yours, exactly.
If you don't love what you have,
who will?
Yeah. Because I think, like, if you you're always going to be miserable if you're just comparing and don't count your blessings. So I think this one, since it's going to be with us since the day we die, I feel like this type of advice, I'm going to put it as, what's the top quality? Goated.
It's goated. I think this one's good. Also because John Cena said it.
Yeah. All right, this one I'm really passionate about to hate on, which is number 7. Sleep is for the weak.
I hate that one too.
Are you dumb? Stupid?
Not sleeping makes you weak.
Yeah. You might feel that you're able to do it when like I have a big problem when people don't prioritize their sleep.
I agree. I'm honestly the same. You know what you have to look into? Once I learned about this, that's kind of what made me lock in on sleeping. Sleep debt. You literally accumulate debt from not sleeping. Am I saying that weird?
Yeah, you said debt.
Debt? How do you say it?
Sleep debt.
No, it's not.
Debt.
I'm in debt, you butt.
What? Can you speak English?
I'm in debt.
Not debt. Debt. What? Okay, anyways. Sleep is not for the weak. Sleep is actually for the non-weak person because athletes, anyone who is playing a competitive sport or even just normal human beings, we need sleep to kind of like flush out the toxin from our body, do some regeneration and things like that,
Keep on going. I like this.
hormone balance, right? All of these things occur when you sleep. Or your muscle repair. All of this thing is happening when you're sleeping. So if you're saying it's for the weak, then buddy, you're gonna die before me.
Yeah. Like it's a proven fact. If you have a lot of sleep debt, there we go. Over the years, like it reduces life expectancy.
You're gonna become
It increases
bankrupt.
chronic disease. Yeah. Likelihood of chronic disease and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just a horrible person. You're on those cranky people.
Cranky people. Also, I just like hate it when like if the sun is out and you're asleep, you know what I mean? Because people
What
don't
is you
sleep at
doing?
night. Yeah, and then like during the day you're wasting a day sleeping. I'm like, no, the day should be spent.
Yeah, you need to look at the sunlight in the morning for your circadian rhythm to kick in properly and your hormones to kick in properly. As well as when you look at the sunlight in the morning, melatonin production is going to be scheduled at a right time so you fall asleep at the right time. But when you're not seeing that, we have a hard time
There's
falling
so
asleep.
many things.
Thank you, Dr. Andrew Huberman, for making sleep so mainstream, right? I feel like before people used to shit on sleep, or like sleep is for the weak was the, like, I feel like early 2000s, that was like the mindset.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you were young back then, so it's okay.
You were so old then, right?
I was.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I would categorize that as, what was it?
Nope.
Nope, yeah. Like, that one's trash. Okay, this one I read wrong the first time I read it, so let me look at it properly. Fail fast, fail often. I don't know what that means.
This one I've heard in a many, like, entrepreneurial environment, as well, like, business environment, or even in life, where people are so afraid to start something, right? Or they're so afraid of failure that they don't even start it.
Yeah.
Right? So this advice is like, okay, just go there, fail fast, meaning when you fail, you're going to learn a lot. So the more you fail, the more you're going to learn, and it's going to lead to actual results. Even like businesses, sometimes when they're not sure about a product, they will kind of do test marketing and stuff like that, and they'll fail sometimes, but they're like, okay.
Also, it's promoting you to fail fast, fail often.
Yeah, like, don't be afraid of failure. Basically, I think that's like the essence behind it.
I'm actually dense. I thought of saying fail slower, so you don't fail often.
How? The word slow is not even in there.
No, because if you fail fast, you fail often. But if you fail slow...
No, it's fail fast, comma,
fail
often.
I mean, either way, you'd have the comma. But okay, I see what you mean. I've just personally never heard that one, because I don't work in a corporate environment.
This is more of... I mean, I think people use it in the personal life, but I've seen it more used for entrepreneurial...
I would say this is meh.
Meh?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's like, number one, if you're not able to understand it at one go, like poor buddy isn't, then it's like not a good advice. All right. You can't pour from an empty cup.
I like this one, personally.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point.
Any cup quote I like the a glass half full, or glass, anything with a cup I enjoy. But this one I personally like because it talks about, I feel like this really focuses on like self-care and making sure you are okay before you try to take care of other people, right?
Yeah, or like, I think everyone probably has gone through their first love and stuff like that, and they realize like, oh, dude, I can't even love someone right now because I don't even love myself, right? Or like that realization in life is really important for people because that kind of encourages them to go on their self-growth journey.
And also like the way you treat others around you is a reflection, and also seeps into how you treat yourself as well. Like it's very connected, right? How you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself, it'll seep into how you treat your friends, your family, etc., your loved one. Yeah. So I think it's a very good quote. Like, make sure your cup is full before you try to, pour into other people's.
Yeah, no, one thing I've also realized is like when you are not taking care of yourself, when you are not prioritizing your needs and wants and just trying to like please others, you're gonna build resentment in your relationships, even though that person might have not expected you to do that. But you always feel exhausted or feel empty doing that because your cup is not full, quote unquote. You're gonna build resentment and stuff. So it's important to take care of yourself so you can show up as the best version for your partner, the best version for your parents, best version for your friends, etc.
Agreed.
Right.
I would give this like a solid rating.
Yeah, I think this is solid. This is gonna stick with us for the rest of our lives.
Kind of, yeah. All right, next one we've all heard.
Yeah.
Probably in all sorts of situations, but it's just be yourself.
I think this is sometimes a misleading advice.
I feel like sometimes you have to, because you can't always, for example, like public speakers, and like you can't always be confident, or you can't always be too sure of yourself, but sometimes you kind of have to fake it.
What if you're a horrible person?
Right? Oh yeah, don't be yourself then.
Don't like people need to take
that's a good point.
Like people should take accountability and realize like, hey, these are my flaws. These are things that are not gonna be okay for me in the long run. So don't be yourself in that moment.
Right? Do better.
Just be your best self. I think like maybe would have been better, or like don't be like, we're all humans, obviously we're not gonna be perfect, but if you know that you struggle with something or you have this XYZ flaw, right? It's important for you to take accountability and address that. Right? If you have like, for example, chronic disease or something like that, you gotta do stuff about it, right? Same thing. If you have some bad qualities within yourself, you're gonna obviously do something about it. You're not just gonna live with it and expect your life to get better.
I mean, yeah.
You see what I'm getting at?
Sometimes you can't do things for certain diseases, but
I mean, the disease was an example. The parallel is like, right?
It wasn't really a parallel. It was like
whatever, metaphor.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah.
Actually, it was a simile because I said like.
Like, sure.
Yeah, I think this is
meh.
Like I wouldn't obviously.
Actually, nope.
I think it's trash.
Okay, we can label it as like a nope advice. Yeah. I think there are better ways to say like be authentic. Like you could say literally be authentic. Right?
Or like stay true to your purpose.
To your purpose, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, like that tells you like, okay, be yourself, be who your values are aligned with.
Yeah.
But like I don't think anyone's purpose is to be a horrible person, right? So,
agreed, yeah.
Number 11, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are.
I feel like this one's kind of true.
I think.
But like I personally have never heard this in my own life.
Yeah, I think a lot of this advice is like, evaluate your social circles. Who are you surrounding yourself with? There's some truth to it. Yeah. But there are also like, my friends are very diverse in a lot of things, but we're very similar in a bunch of things, right? Our values, traditions, and all that stuff aligns. So like, if you were to look at my friends, like, okay, this guy's probably brown. He's probably Hindu. He's probably Gujarati. Like, you could get that. But other than that, like, you're not going to get more from that. Like, I enjoy doing something completely different than some of my friends do, right? So I do see some truth to it.
I mean, I don't think this quote is saying like, tell me who your friends are at face value and I'll tell you who. I think it's like, if I were to ask you and I know your friends.
Huh? No. It's more like,
oh, like the names and stuff.
Like, hey, this guy is hanging out with this group of people.
Oh, okay. I think, you know what? Yeah, I feel like this is promoting judging books by covers, which I don't like.
I think there's some truth to it though, right? Like, if you're hanging out with like roadmen, you're also going to be a roadman yourself, right? Like, common sense. You're not going to be a roadman who's going to Harvard. That doesn't usually happen.
That'd be a good movie.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
That was the reason why I said it. But I think it's okay. Not really.
I would give it a meh rating.
Yeah. All right, number 12.
Manifest it and it will come.
I manifest a big house and a baddie. It's not going to happen.
I mean, that's because you're blocking that manifestation. You manifest it and immediately you're like, no, it's not going to happen.
No, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, just saying what you want is not going to get you what you want.
Yeah. I think manifesting, initially, I was a little like, I don't really understand it. And I have friends who manifest quite a bit. I genuinely do. I'm being dead ass.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like, but it's not saying you just sit in your house and, you know, like, go and like manifest all the things you want. Manifesting goes hand in hand with actually like actively doing things for your goals. Manifesting, you know the quote where it's like a problem written down as a problem half solved or something like that? I feel like manifesting is like kind of analogous to that.
Like, I don't think like,
I think you're thinking of manifesting at a very like surface level, but like if you think deeper, manifesting is writing down what you want and then also going after
Yeah,
it.
but if you have to explain the quote so much, or if you have to explain the
I mean,
advice,
this is
like if you're telling someone to manifest, it's not very action oriented, right? That's my thing. If you want
well,
something,
that's for people that don't know what manifesting actually is, though.
then what is manifesting?
Like I said, it's essentially writing your goals down, but then also actively striving for it. I know some people are like really weirdly spiritual about it. And, like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can't.
but like I think with anything, there's people that like are at, opposite ends and like kind of
yeah, but that's what I mean.
Extreme.
The advice is not that great.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this quote is good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying like manifestation does.
manifestation is what you're thinking of is more goal setting.
Yeah.
Manifestation is when people are like,
and also
I deserve this. The universe should give me this because I want it.
So one sort of like manifesting I've heard about is like, oh, I will do this, I will get this or whatever. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like positive thinking and also like, do you know what I mean?
I agree, but like I guess I'm maybe wired different, so like I can only speak from my perspective.
Yeah.
I'm like, do not.
And also, I think you saying like, oh, if I don't understand it right away, then it's like not. What did you say? Like,
huh?
What did
if people are like not able to come to a consensus, basically, with that advice, it's
well,
not really
I don't know. I'm not properly educated on what actual manifesting is, but like from what I've
seen two sides of it.
Yeah.
Right. One is like a very spiritual side, which I personally don't like. Like, yes, you can say that you want something, but if there's no action behind it, it's not really.
At the end of the day, do what works for you.
Yeah, like if you want to sit there and manifest, go ahead.
Also, I feel like everyone, when it comes to goals and stuff, we're all really, really similar. We just label it as different things,
I don't think so.
Like, for example, you would be goal setting, but for some person, that goal setting is called manifesting. Or for some person, that thing is called attracting what you want. Like what I mean? I don't know.
I don't think it works like that.
I think it does.
How do you attract, like, I don't know, like a big house? Like, you know what I mean? Like
a big magnet.
Like, just go stand in front of a big house and like, I'm gonna manifest this. I don't think there is like anything wrong with like wanting things or saying that you deserve things. Yes, but like I think manifestation, like it's like, oh, if I want this, I will get it. Like,
yeah, but I think that's like having that like mentality. I think it's more of like a mindset. I don't think there's people out there that are like, oh, if I squeeze my, like clench my cheeks really hard and think about a big house, I'll get a big house. Like, I don't think that's what manifestation is.
You'll be surprised. I think manifestation.
Well, then I feel like those people don't know what manifestation is.
Yeah. Because that's what I mean. That's why because I know there are people like that who manifest things like that. That's why I'm saying it's a thing.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the quote. Manifest it and it will come. I would say it's meh.
Sure. I will compromise.
Yeah.
All right. 13. Done is better than perfect. I think this one is like meh because it matters on the situation.
It depends, like what you're doing, right? Yeah. Like if you're doing an activity or like a task that kind of requires like detail orientation and like
if you're doing a surgery, please, sir.
Done is better than perfect.
Yeah, please, sir, don't.
If you're down a few sutures, it's fine. You know.
Yeah, if you don't connect my heart back to the right valve or something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're being very technical with this.
No, but that's what I mean. Like it's very like sometimes in work, for example, done is better than perfect, 100% sure, because you have tight deadlines and stuff and that's my work, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you are working in like another field, where room for error is very low, right? Like medical, even like
and like the consequences are high.
You want to make sure that you are
perfect is better than
perfect
done.
is perfect, meaning like close to perfection. Like obviously nothing can be perfect, but you know what I mean? Because with this mindset, you're like, all right, let's just get it done with. And it leads to low quality production.
Yeah.
So I think
it's a meh quote.
I know what it's trying to get at. Like,
like something is better than nothing, kind of, right?
Yeah, don't spend your time just like spinning your wheels trying to make it perfect. Let's make some progress.
Yeah. Okay, this next one is really funny to me. Okay, number 14 is nice guys finish last. Jalp, you want to attest to this? I mean, sorry, not that. Do you want to speak on this first?
Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of like not true. I feel like as you get older, people...
There's also a song for this.
Huh?
that TikTok song?
Nice guys finish last. Should have known that. Oh, yeah. I think as you get older, people realize we're good people and want to be around
Yeah.
good people, right? But I see, like, okay, I'll tell you this, as a man or as a guy who has heard this and like people preach it and stuff, the idea of a nice guy is not really what a genuine guy is. A genuine guy and a nice guy are different, right? Nice guy sometimes is somebody who's a people pleaser,
Yeah.
which most people don't like in the long run.
Yeah.
Right? Nice guy is someone who is not prioritizing themselves, is doing things from a place to impress others instead of really who they are genuinely, right? So I think that's where like the disconnect is. And like girls like bad guys and all that. Sure, girls might like bad guys and stuff, but I don't think a girl wants to be married to a bad guy when he leaves her and her children. You know what I mean? So I think like most people who are mature adults want to surround themselves with.
I just think it's a
people.
silly. I feel like this is like horrible advice. I just think it's like
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb.
Like
I think niceness is underrated. Be more nice. But
Yeah.
like you mean, be genuinely nice.
be genuinely nice. Don't just be the sake, because this is a very transactional nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a nice guy, so I deserve this girl type of thing. I guess
So yeah, I would say this is a trash quote or like a nope quote. Okay.
Your network is your net worth.
I don't like this one.
Yeah, like not really. I get where you're getting at. Maybe if you were measuring your net worth in different aspects, like if your net worth is like your happiness, your or like values and things like that, I agree. But if you are taking net worth as a literal term, whereas assets minus liabilities is your worth, then it's not really the case.
I think in the context of work, I don't like this quote, but in the context of just like social connection and stuff, like it makes sense, you know, like it's important to like network in the sense like I don't, like you said before, like transactional. I don't think I like that, like where the people in your life, like they have some sort of like, you know, like literal value to them. Like I don't like that aspect. But if this is more so like they add value to your life on like a figurative level, then I kind of like this quote. But overall, I don't like it.
I also think like you could have like a bunch of wealthy people in your life. Like that doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy.
It's the quality of your network, not just the fact that you have a network, right? Yeah, I don't like this one. I'd give it a meh rating.
Yeah, because you'll be like, oh, I know this guy. Okay, but what does that mean though?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'll give this a meh. I think I would give it a nope, but
we can do nope then.
Yeah,
it's kind of dumb. Nope.
Everything happens for a reason.
I like this one actually.
I like this one 100%. I mean, I don't want to bring spirituality into it, but like the cause of everything that I believe in, I think it's God, right? And
as written.
As written by him, and he knows what.
The son al-Gaib.
No, that's not our God. Excuse me, ma'am.
Timothy Chalamet is not our God.
No, it's Swaminar Bhagwan. But everything happens for a reason. I think it's good advice.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to remind yourself that there's a reason behind this. Maybe you might not know the reason right now. Maybe you might not even understand it completely. You're so confused and everything, and that is like fine.
Everything tends to work out in the end. Everything happens for a reason. And when you remind yourself of this, it also helps you hold accountability. It makes you reflect on maybe like your personal choices, your habits and stuff like that, right? And then that helps you prevent things like that if it's a negative thing from happening in the future.
Yeah, it gives you
everything's like a learning opportunity. Yeah,
it gives you an opportunity to grow versus like, oh, why did this happen to me? That mindset like kind of leads you to victimization versus this mindset kind of leads you into more like, okay, whatever happened, but now what? Now what can I do to move forward? So I think it's this one.
I like that it's like kind of like bathed in positivity. I like it. I would give this like a solid rating.
Yeah, I would give it a goat.
Okay, you know what? I agree. I go. Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. I've heard this one actually a few times.
I think there's truth to it.
There is truth, yeah.
Right. I've seen people that are genuinely into the thing that they're doing, and then to them, they're got no problem. And I've seen people who are not into their work at all, and all you hear from them is just like, oh man, work was like this, I hate my life, complaining and stuff. So
Also, this kind of goes back to the other work-related quote. I forget the other one, but like loving what you do. Oh, your passion, right? Following your passion. Even if you don't work a job that like, if you work a certain job more so for like the benefits it gives you or whatever, if you still balance that with the things you like to do, if you love what you do on a daily basis, then the work that you do is worth it. You know what I mean? So even then, even if it's not the work specifically that's what you love, since it enables you to do things you do love, then at the end of the day, the work is,
Yeah, and that's kind of like my situation, right? Like, I mean, I don't hate my work at all. I love what I do. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
To the, like, a limitation, I guess, like, love might be a really strong word. Like, I enjoy what I do, I guess. Right? But my work allows me to do the things that I love. Exactly. Allows me to travel, allows me to, like, spend time with family, friends.
Lollygag.
Right? Because there's a good work-life balance and everything like that. And because of that, I am so grateful for it that I'm able to, put in my 100% when I'm working. So I think that would be the advice I would tell people when they're choosing their career. Like, this is really good advice. But also remember the other aspect is, like, your work is only 8 hours of your day.
Exactly.
Right? Hopefully. If it's more and stuff, like, whatever, you chose that. Yeah. But the other 8 hours that you are awake, like, what are you going to do with that?
100%, right? Yeah.
If your work is, like, taking away from you being able to be mentally present for the other 8 hours and things like that, then, like, there is some things that could be changed.
Yeah. Right? What do you think? Solid rating? I feel like it's pretty solid advice.
Yeah. And this is something that our dad always tells us, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we were choosing our careers and stuff, like, he would always say this because
and like also things like work-life balance, like
like, for example, like, he wakes up at 4 a.m. 5 a.m. to go to work, and why does he do that? He tells us that, like, he likes what he does.
Likes what he does, yeah.
Right?
All right.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I think this
is true. Very
like
true.
I've seen this happen to many athletes probably and things like that. Like, they have so much talent, but they're just not, like, meant to.
I feel like talent sets you at a good place, but without hard work, you're not gonna go any higher,
I think talent is good in the amateur leagues. In the professional league,
it's hard work.
Hard work is what's gonna set you up.
Because everyone's talented, I feel.
Right? Yeah. Like, you can be like, I think this is true in, like, not even, like, athletic fields. Like, I've known people who are way smarter than me, right?
Yeah.
But I've known people who are, like, not as smart as them, but those people have worked so much harder that they're in a better off position, and the other people have maybe taken life a little bit on cruise control because of their talent, right? So even in that, like, in your career, in everything that you do in life, you're gonna have to put in hard work. It's like a universal law, like Newton's law. One of them is probably, like, hard work, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, it's required. Because the smart people will be able to set themselves apart at an amateur stage, but when you get to the bigger leagues, everyone is smart.
There's, like, a certain threshold, and to make it go past that, you need to work hard.
Yeah,
I agree. So I would rate that like solid advice.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one is interesting. It is number 19 is live every day like it's your last. Which, like, honestly, I think there's truth to that. I mean, literally, there is truth to that. You never know when you're going to die.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you have, like, a special circumstance. But I think there is truth to that, right? Like, if there are things you want to do and you hesitate or put it off for a future day to come, there's no guarantee that that day will come.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that you will be, able to do what you want to do in the future. You never know circumstances in the future, right? The future is uncertain. We are not omniscient or whatever. So I think there is truth to that.
Yeah. And one thing that I recently listened to the TED Talk by Brahmavihara Swami when he did it in Tampa. Right? And he asked, why am I wearing orange? Or what's the color of the orangeness? It's a reminder that I am going to die one day and my body's going to be burned. And every day I'm dying. Right? So every day is an opportunity for me to do better for humanity and do a good job. So, like, not only for, like, a personal reason, like, hey, make sure you do all the things that you love, but, like, hey, you're going to die one day. Make sure you live a good legacy or make sure you live a good impact on people.
You know, also another thing is if you have people, I'm going to get a little passionate right now. If you have people in your life that like you love, but if you're like me and you sometimes struggle to verbalize that, make sure you at least show it to them in other ways. Because bro, you could literally die. And then they would never, like, I'm sure they know deep down that like, oh, you know, like you appreciate them a lot, but like make your days on earth count and show appreciation, show gratitude, show love to the people in your life.
Hug them,
which I struggle with. I'm not a huge hugger, but I'm getting better at it. Yeah.
Hug your people. Tell them that you know you
hold their
them,
hand,
right? And have a conversation with them and stuff like that. Like if not, you're not gonna die. Like don't think like I'm gonna die tomorrow. But like the idea is like be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Don't live a life that's not true to your purpose, not true to your values. Align yourself with your values. Align yourself with your purpose, and just be a genuine good person because I think everyone wants to be remembered as a good person.
Yeah.
Right?
That's another thing. You're not going to be remembered for anything except who you were, you know?
Yeah, like no one's going to remember like, hey, this person like gave me $1 million. Maybe they will actually.
Actually, no, I feel like I would remember that.
I remember that. But you know what I mean?
They would remember your when you give someone, what are they? Very like, compassionate? No. Charitable?
Huh? Okay, well, we got the point.
Yeah. Anyway,
this one is goated.
I think it's a goated advice. Yeah. Obviously, don't become paranoid that you're gonna die.
Yeah, like I think when you have the realization that you are going to die one day, I think it's not paranoia. It kind of gives you liberation.
Liberation, yeah.
Like you're like, okay.
Oh my God, there's a really good quote where it's like, you have 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize. No, wait, what? I'm going to butcher this. Hold on.
I know.
Hold up. Let me Google it. I'll move on to the next one till then.
Yeah. Number 20 is ignore the haters. I think this one is true. I think this is true, actually. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Really quickly. Yeah. Back to the one I was talking about. It's by Confucius. And it goes, we have 2 lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have 1. That's what it is.
And you know what? I think he's part of Stoicism.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so like I think live every day like it's your last and everything like that is part of like Stoic philosophy as well.
Oh, I butchered that.
Yeah, so it's really good.
But yeah, anyways, ignore the haters is the next one. I think, like, I mean, you should kind of pay attention. Like, maybe the haters have a point.
Yeah, like
maybe you are lacking in something.
I think it's true, but like as I was gonna say, like I think it's true, but like at the same time, like sometimes maybe the haters are valid.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you are launching a business, right? And if you have bad reviews and stuff,
you should listen to that. Yeah.
You should be. That's some good feedback, right?
Yeah.
But like if you like in your personal life and stuff, if you are doing something and like people are genuinely like being affected by it, maybe you should listen to that feedback if you're doing it at the expense of others. But if you're not doing something at the expense of others and people are still hating, then like
yeah, it depends on what type of hating you're facing, I feel. Right? Like if it's criticism that you can actually build on and there's value to it, you should listen to them, don't ignore them. But if people are just like coming for you for just the sake of coming for you, then ignore them. Right? Yeah. Then they have nothing better to do.
Yeah. I'll give this like a meh advice because I think it's vague.
It's very vague, yeah. I would say meh as well. Again, this is giving something like you would caption in like elementary school under your Instagram post or something.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. I personally love this one. And I feel like we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Immediately, I would say this is goated.
Yeah, because like many times, like you can't remember their specific conversation, but you remember like how you left feeling that environment.
Yeah.
Like I've spent time with my friends. Like sometimes we're just talking, but like I can't really remember like the details about what we talked about, and we'll be maybe talking for an hour or 2.
Yeah.
But I know I felt like I laughed, I felt loved, I felt cared for.
Yeah.
When I talk to my siblings and stuff, it's like the same things like that, right? Versus like when you talk to like your manager or something, you don't feel those feelings as often, right? But like you know what I mean? Like you don't remember the details of your conversation. You always just remember how you left feeling that room, right? Which is also like a good lesson for people who want to be genuinely good people. Like make sure you make the other person feel appreciated, cared for, and seen. I think a lot of times people just want to be
Be
seen and
seen.
heard.
Yeah.
That a lot of people don't do in their lives, and if you can provide that for someone, they're going to remember you because you did that for them.
100%. I agree with everything you said. I think this one, like we said before, is goated.
Yeah.
All right. Final one is good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, I think this is really good advice, but something that I personally like
Struggle with.
Yeah, I think all my siblings know this and
Yeah.
everything. The downfall of being so action oriented or something like that is that you always are thinking, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
I think every 2-3 weeks, I call my sister. I'm like, hey, I like, what should I be doing? Give me some advice. Like, what should I be doing next?
I mean, I think you're just wired that way, and that's okay.
Well, it is okay, but like it's not okay because like it makes your present feel like you need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it makes you undervalue like
what you have.
living in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my sister shared like an Instagram post or something like that where like the like the ones that have like things. You are living.
The ones that have what?
Like, sorry, you have like those captions and stuff.
Yeah.
You are living what you wanted 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So the next time I am like thinking about what's next and stuff,
feeling antsy, like to do something, yeah.
Like even like I just switched jobs and stuff like that,
and you're already like, what's next?
I'm already like, okay, what do we do now? Yeah. What's the next move? What do I need to like work on? Right, which is a good thing, but as you gotta find a balance. So I think this advice is something that I need to work on. I just made up a quote.
You want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay. Life is a ladder. And if you don't take it slow, you'll lose your footing. Ooh, is that?
I didn't make that up.
I know, I genuinely just made that up in my head right now.
That's fire.
Because I was like, you climbed up the ladder and you climbed up your work ladder just now. Mm. But if you're already, like eager to go to the next rung of the ladder, whatever it's called, yeah, you could lose your footing, bro. Yeah. You could fall.
Yeah, and like.
You heard it here first. That was my quote. Yeah. I promise you I did not hear that anywhere.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank
you.
Or
like full disclosure, like, I'm in my mid-20s ish.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? And a lot of people are settling down. A lot of people are getting married and stuff. And people listening to this might be feeling like this too. And I know like even your friends are starting to feel this, where they feel like, oh, there's some sort of like societal pressure to find someone and like settle down and stuff like that. Or like there's some sort of expectation. But like, wait, I'm not saying that to people. I'm reminding myself too. Is like, wait, your time will come. The right person will come. You rather wait for the right person than to rush
and be with the wrong person. Yeah,
wrong person just because you couldn't wait. Right. Mm-hmm. So patience
is a virtue.
And I think that's why I remember our 2025 episode where we did like goals for 2025. Yeah, patience was on my list because I know this defect of mine.
Yeah,
lack of patience.
That's okay though. I have the opposite problem. I'm a little too patient. Sometimes a little what's the word, like stagnant, like frozen. Mm-hmm. I get a little too comfortable where I am, and I don't reach for the next rung of the ladder. Wow, I really like this quote.
Okay, you should get a ladder tatted on.
I will. I honestly, you should do.
Sure.
Okay. I think those are all our quotes that we had for today's episode. Okay, should we just quickly read through like the ones that we rated goated?
Yeah. This one we wanted to goated as well, right?
That last one's pretty goated. Okay. So we only had like a handful of goated quotes. Mm-hmm. First one we rated as goated was "Comparison is a thief of joy."
Yeah.
That one, I think it speaks for itself. Next one was "Everything happens for a reason."
Yeah, goated.
Next one is "Live every day like it's your last."
Goated.
Right? And our very final quote or advice of the episode was also goated, and that was "Good things come to those who wait."
Yeah.
So I feel like the theme of all these quotes is, be present in your life.
Yeah.
And be aware of things like criticism, how you can improve and stuff, but don't, do that for the sake of your own happiness. Like, don't let at the expense of your own happiness, right?
Yeah. It's being grateful for your current situation and still having that desire to become a better version of yourself, do better. Yeah. Because I think that aspect is also important in life. Everyone's just trying to be the best ordinary but genuine person that they are, right? So I think these quotes perfectly remind us that. And if you have any other quotes in the future or you would like to share with us, feel free to.
Yeah. Awesome. So thanks for tuning into The Ordinary. Follow us, rate us, and share this episode with that one friend who still says just manifest it unironically.
Thank you so much. See you next time.